You're listening to the Saturday edition of the Weekend Morning Show. It's 13 minutes before 9. You're at 89.3 FM, 990 AM. Well, after winning the $20,000 Stories from Home pitch competition at the Gimli Film Festival this summer, the docu-comedy That Mennonite Joke has now won a juried Bravo Fact Award. The film offers a glimpse into the humor in Mennonite culture, not a topic that gets a lot of attention on TV so far. But director Orlando Braun plans to change that, and he's here on a chilly morning to tell us about how he plans to do it. Good morning.
Good morning, Laurie.
So last summer, you won the $20,000 MTS Stories from Home pitch competition at the Gimli Film Festival.
That is correct.
Must have been fun.
Oh, it was so much fun.
But now you've got another grant. You're going further with this. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So we applied for Bravo FACTUAL funding for this film. And they just came in last week to say that they would support this film, and which is so exciting for us because this film will be the exact same length that MTS is requiring. So it's a 15-minute film that'll be released at the end of June.
So you can combine the fundings.
That is correct, which is going to be really great because I have a lot of characters to shoot. It turns out that there are a lot of funny Mennonites. Mennonites are hilarious across the board. So I have so many people that I get to interview for this. And this is going to allow me those extra days to actually go and take my time with them. Well,
the film is called That Mennonite Joke.
Yes.
Can you give me kind of the Reader's Digest version of your pitch so that we know what it's about?
Oh, sure. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Mennonites?
Okay, it's not jokes. How about that?
That's right. Most people think about, bearded farmers, very stiff upper lip, very religious, maybe good cooks, that kind of thing. And nobody really considers the humor aspect, which is surprising to me because that's so intrinsic to the culture. And so in this film, through the perspective of comedian Matt Falk, who's a local and just genius clean comedy, with his perspective, we'll dig into our Mennonite heritage to dig out what the root of the funny is for the purpose of enhancing his comedic act, actually. So he'll be talking to a series of really funny people and kind of like Matt will be like a jolly samurai going through all these different humorist masters to like enhance his skill. And all these humorous masters, I'm talking about people like Miriam Taves, who has written very funny books, tragic at the same time, but also very funny. Armin Weeb, Nathan Dewick. He'll be meeting with other entertainers like Corny Rempel, who is a radio DJ by day and a world-class Elvis tribute artist by night. Not even kidding. But he also has he's so funny in his act as well.
And these are all Mennonite people?
These are all Mennonites. And not to mention, of course, we'll be digging into his own family, and it's gonna be a very personal film. But Matt Falk, is the perfect point of view character because he was born here in Canada, so he's the perfect bridge between North American culture and Mennonite culture. And his parents are actually from Paraguay, which is the country where I'm from. So using his perspective to bring all of you in on the joke.
Is the idea to see whether he can bring us all into the joke? Is it about humor transcending culture or not?
Oh, man, that is a huge part, Laurie.
Yeah?
Yeah, because there's this theory, and I think it's a myth, that comedy is very cultural, that you can't bring people in on the joke. And I think this film will prove that comedy can be quite universal.
So what's it going to actually look like? How will you go about shooting it? Are you shooting it here? Are you employing local people? What's going to go on?
Absolutely. I'm employing 100% local people in this production, and there's so many very talented Mennonites in Manitoba, which is so great because they're all within arm's reach.
What happens in it?
The backbone, the story arc of this film is that Matt has this comedy special taping coming up, which is happening imminently in 2015. And there's this segment of his act that he needs to beef up, which is the Mennonite portion of his act. A little backstory on that, because we will touch on it very briefly in the film, is that when Matt started in comedy, many years ago, people were telling him to stay away from that Mennonite stuff because it probably wasn't very funny, and his managers and things. And now he's been sneaking stuff in, and people have been eating it up. He even won like second place at the World Series of Comedy in Las Vegas. He moved to Toronto because of it. He got like so much attention, and people calling him up saying, "Hey, you should do more of that Mennonite stuff."
It's funny.
It's so funny. So now he's in a point of his career where he needs to find more funny stuff about Mennonites. So that's what we're doing. We're finding these people, meeting them, and going to their shows, to their events. Like there's other performers as well that we're incorporating, even like this Mennonite trio that sings entirely in Plotdeutsch, which is the Low German language. And a lot of Mennonite jokes like involve the Mennonite names, even the way we call each other different names, because in Mennonite culture, a lot of names get reused over and over again, right? So there's different names that you put in advance of your name to differentiate yourself from the other corny remple down the street.
Oh,
right?
really?
Miriam Taves came into town, and we just had to meet with her, right? So Matt met with her, and one of the things she talked about was this fascination we have with naming people. And I don't know if this clip is going to make it into the final film, but it's so funny.
Actually, I think we have a little bit of that, so we'll just play that.
That's, like one ball Thiessen or whatever, like
one ball Thiessen.
Who like
was there
some
actually
accident earlier
some
on.
terrible combining accident
Right, exactly.
that everybody now knows about? That's one ball Thiessen.
Because everybody like has the same name, right?
Right.
So there have to be ways of
You have to differentiate between the Thiessens in town based on how many testicles they have.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know if that'll make it into the final cut of the film, but I thought the clip was so funny.
Well, it's a good example of what you're talking about.
And I'd love to see other people actually enjoy this film and realize that there's a lot more to Mennonite culture than the stiff stereotypes that have been placed upon us.
Well, it sounds like you're going to make quite a dent into that idea altogether, and you're underway now, and you're going to have it all done by the summer?
I'll have it all done by the summer.
Good for you. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Laurie.
Orlando Braun is the director of That Mennonite Joke, currently in production. You'll see it in early summer 2015.